Okay, today we are going to talk about the properties of exponents. We'll do a couple examples with each one. So property one is when we have like bases here, the bases are the x, the exponents here are the 2 and 5. We simply add the exponents. So we can think of that as x to the 5th being 5x's, x to the 2nd being 2. When I multiply those, that's 5x's multiplied together times 2x's multiplied together. That's x to the 7th. Rule number 2. And these can be done, stated in all kinds of different orders. When I'm dividing, I subtract the exponents. That's 2. And this can be thought of as 5x's over 3x's. And then I just cancel out. Leaving me with 2 left on the top. An alternative to this would be the other way around. And that's, now I've got 3 x's on top, 5 on the bottom. That leaves me 2 on the bottom. Rule number 3 is, we call this power to a power, x to the 3rd to the 4th. When I do this, I multiply my exponents, giving me x to the 12th. Again, x to the 3rd is x times x times x. To the 4th power means I'm taking that whole thing 4 times. This is 3. This is 4. That's x to the 12th. Rule number 4. Actually, let's do that one later. We'll do that as 5. When I've got 2 things, let's do 3 here. And we'll put a 2 there. I must apply this 3rd power to all of them. 2 to the 3rd, a to the 3rd. And then this is b to the 2nd to the 3rd. It's like the rule above it where I multiply. 2 to the 3rd is 8. Please simplify it to 8. A to the 3rd, b to the 6th. The same thing can apply to fractions. The 3rd, let's do to the 3rd. So again, I apply the 3rd to everything here, to the 4. And then I multiply the exponents on the a and on the b, giving me 4 to the 3rd is 64, a to the 6th, b to the 9th. This one, the negative exponent rule. It does not make it a negative number. It reverses it over the fraction bar. Guess what 1 over x to the negative 2nd is? Again, flips it over the fraction bar. That brings it to the top. That's just x to the positive 2nd. And finally, rule number 7. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Okay, that's kind of our 7 rules of exponents. I'm going to do a couple more examples here where we're going to apply them, and I'm going to keep them on the same page so we can look at all our rules. So problem number 1. So I've got a few rules to apply here. And I'm going to do this one step at a time. My answer, this is an x squared and a y to the negative 3rd. My answer, I'm not going to allow negative exponents. So first rule, I've got to use this rule 3 where I multiply. 2 times, and rule 4 where I apply it to everything. 2 times 4 is 8. Negative 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Now I'm going to apply this rule where I flip my negative over the fraction bar and make it positive. Problem 2. The first thing I want to do is gather all my x's and y's to the same spot. Looking like I've got more negative on top, I should bring my x's to the bottom. So that's x to the -2. X to the third was always already there. X to the fourth becomes x. X to the -4th becomes x to the fourth when I bring it down. Now I've gathered all my x's together. I can move the x squared down by making it a negative. I'm reversing this little rule here on number 6. And my y's, I'll make it y to the third, y to the +5th when I bring it up. Now when I combine these, I just add my exponents. I'm using rule number 1. Y to the third times y to the 5th is y to the 8th. X to the third, fourth, 3 plus 4 plus -2 is 5. So y to the 8th, x to the 5th. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do, r to the 0 is 1. I don't need r to the 0 because times 1 means nothing. So I'm just going to get rid of that. And then I will apply this -3 to all of them. 3 to the -3. M, multiply the 2 times -3 is -6. 4 to the -3. And 3 times -3 is -9. I'm going to flip everything over the fraction bar. Because all of these are negative. 3 to the -3rd becomes 3 to the +3rd on the bottom. 4 to the -3rd becomes 4 to the 3rd on top. M to the -6th becomes M to the +6 on bottom. N to the -9 becomes N to the 9 on top. And finally, I'm just going to simplify 4 to the 3rd. 4 to the 3rd is 64. 4 times 4 is 16 times 4 is 64. If you need to, use a calculator. 3 to the 3rd, 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Again, you're welcome to use calculators to get these numbers, but we want the numbers written out, not left as 4 to the 3rd for now. Okay, there is your lesson on rules of exponents.